Hey, what's up, Photography Mafia? In this Affinity tutorial, we're going to learn how to read and understand the histogram. So let's get started. For now, we'll start with this photo right here that I took in Thailand, in Bangkok, in a park. You can see this cat here. So you can probably already notice that this photo is on the darker side. So let's relate that to the histogram. So the histogram here, so what does it represent? Or how can we read it? So the easiest way to explain it is that the histogram, it's the tonal range going from left to right. And you can think of it by breaking it down into three sections. On the left side is the shadows, in the middle is the midtones, and in the right is the highlights or the brightest parts. The most left part is like the black point, or the darkest part, which is like pure black, and the most right part is the brightest part, which is pure white. So you can see this histogram right here, it's mostly pushed to the left. So you can see there's not that much bright area, so it's pushed to the left. And the reason being is this image is mostly on the darker side. Now, there is another thing that we need to take into consideration. You can see there's different values or different colors. So the RGB, the red, green, and blue, those are the different primary channels of the histogram. And this light blue right here, that's the composite where the RGB channels overlap. So don't get too confused when you see these different colors. Some other photography software, they'll sometimes just put a white histogram or a white histogram in the front to show you the composite to make it easier to understand or read. But overall, this histogram is just representing the different channels, the different RGB primary channels. So let's try to alter this photograph and improve it as well as adjust the histogram. So remember, this is the shadows, this is the midtones, and this is the highlights. So the one thing we need to do is try to brighten up this image. So one thing I can do is I can increase the exposure. So once I'm increasing the exposure, it brightens up the overall image. And pay attention to the histogram. You can see the histogram move to the right, and it's moving more to the right as I adjust the exposure until I go overboard. And now it's just becoming almost pure white. I can go the opposite way and make it darker. So you can see it's being pushed to the left. So I'm showing you these extremes to give you an example. I'm going to reset this. And going back to the graph, you can see it's like a curve, this histogram. So what does this curve actually represent, and why is it like this high here and this high here? So that represents the number of pixels at each point of the tonal range. So here, this is how many pixels we have at the darkest areas. Here, where it's a little bit brighter, we have more pixels. You can see it doesn't exactly tell you the amount of pixels. I mean, if I go over here, you can see the pixels right there. But usually most histograms won't show you the pixels, or it's hard to understand how many pixels are there. So you really want to disregard this pixel count and just try to read it or eyeball it, and to make an intuition of how your photo looks in reference to the exposure or the tonal range between the shadows, midtones, and the highlights. So I use the exposure slider to increase the shadows or to brighten up the image. There's different ways you can do it. I can go down here, I can go to the shadows area, and I need to make sure I have this checked, and I can increase the shadows to brighten it up. So this only affects the darkest points when I change this. The other thing I want to show you is this icon right here. This is the coarse histogram. You can see the histogram, it's a little bit rigid. You can see these drops or these crannies and hooks. If I want to make it a little bit more smoother, I can click on that, and it technically is supposed to be more fine. It does take a few seconds to process, but here it is. But I wouldn't worry too much about this yellow triangle here. You just need to get a feel for how to read the histogram. The other thing I want to show you is the clipping indicators. So this is the highlight clipping indicator. when the clipping occurs in the highlights, when it's too bright or when it's too white, you can see this red showing up. So this indicates that it's pure white and it's causing clipping. And let me just reset this. And then I can also show you the shadow clipping when it's too dark. When I go like this, and it should be coming blue, but it doesn't. So let me adjust the black point like that. And here it is. So this is when it's pure black. And that demonstrates it's clipping, or it's called shadow clipping. Let me reset this here. Make sure this is reset as well. And then we also have the tonal clipping, or the tone clipping. And that just represents when the detail is lost. So sometimes it happens. You can see this yellow indicator of the tones. And let me see if I can mimic it a little bit better. And there you go. So this is when detail is all lost. And the one thing about these clipping indicators and the histogram is how a histogram should look. So there's no definition or practical way of a histogram should look. This is just a guidance of how your tonal range is balanced or how it looks. Sometimes it's okay to have clipping, such as shadow clipping or highlight clipping, just to give it an artistic touch. So clipping is okay in a photo as long as that's what you want to do. Now we're going to take a look at this photo here. So you can see this photo is started on the right side mostly with the midtones. There's quite a few pixels here, but more pixels in the highlights. But the shadows, it's not too dark here. You can see it's actually quite blown. Let's turn on the clipping indicators. So it's pretty bright, or it's clipped here, so it's overexposed. So one thing I can try is go to the shadows and highlights, maybe decrease the highlights like that, but that's a little bit too soft now on the highlight side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset this, and we have a black point here, but we don't have a white point slider. So what I can do instead is go to the tone curves right here, activate this, and just bring this down a little, this tone curve. If you don't know how the tone curves work, I do have a separate tutorial on my channel, so you can search for that. So the clipping is gone here. Now I'm going to go back to the basic section here, and now I'm going to adjust the black point. So I'm going to make the darkest part of the image, which is around here, darker. So I'm going to adjust the black point by moving it to the right, just like that. And I still have my clipping indicator on for the shadows. And now the clipping is here. It's coming in, so you can see the blue or the shadow clipping. So I'm going to adjust the black point to get rid of the shadow clipping. So I think that looks good here. Now there's a lot of contrast in this image. And I think what I need to do is brighten up the midtones or maybe the shadows a little bit. So I'll just brighten it up like this. Let's see if that looks good. That doesn't look too good, so I'll reset this. And instead, what I think I can do is I can go back to the tones here, to the curves, and I can increase the midtones. And I think this looks a little bit better. So yeah, so this definitely looks a lot better. So let's take a look at the before and after. Just by correcting the exposure or the tonal range using the histogram and the clipping indicators. So that looks a lot better. And hopefully now you have a better idea of how the histogram works while I'm adjusting these sliders or tools and how it adjusts the histogram. Now I'll go to this photo here, and you can already see it's blown out in the highlights or the sky, and you can tell by right here. You can see it's pushed all the way to the right. So there's a little bit of clipping, but it doesn't show fully white. So you don't see the red indicator. Let me see if I can show that to you by increasing it like that. So it doesn't have full clipping, or actually it does. It didn't update properly. So one thing I can do to correct this is I can go to the shadows and highlights, turn it on, and then I can decrease the highlights just like that. And now we can see the clouds a lot better. But one thing with this way I adjusted is it corrected the clouds, but it made the foreground or the shadows right here a little bit too soft, or the midtones I should say is a little bit too bright. So the normal way you would recover detail in the sky is by creating a mask, which is for a separate tutorial. but this is just to give you an idea of how to recover the clouds in the sky by using the histogram and the shadows and highlights, but there's different ways to correct that. And hopefully you guys now understand how the histogram works. And just remember, it's just a guide of how the tonal range is spread across your photo. There's no set rule of how a histogram should look. And if you guys enjoyed this video, you know what to do. And as always, live easy, sleep breezy, and stay lovely.